Oh, that Sith deals in absolutes.
Hello there, and welcome to my Obi-Wan guide for Battlefront 2. Yes, everyone's favorite tea-sipping Jedi General is finally here. He's finally arrived. It took DICE a year after their second Battlefront title to finally get him in a game, but they did it, and better late than never. So today, I'm going to be going through the best ways to use Obi-Wan, how to appropriately use this character in Battlefront, mainly on Galactic Assault, because Heroes vs. Villains is just a no. Don't play that game mode. The only reason to play it is to level up heroes. It's just so broken. It's so bad. Just the way the lightsaber combat is, the broken hitboxes and broken abilities. Just most of this guide's going to be focusing on Galactic Assault with a few Heroes vs. Villains tips here and there. But yeah, just pretty much this is why you should not play Heroes vs. Villains. So let's start off with his abilities. Just like every other hero in this game, Obi-Wan has 3 different abilities. He's got Force Yeet, Best Ability, and Wavy Hand. So let's go through each of these one by one. Force Yeet is just a super long range force push. It's worse than Luke's force push in every single way except for range, because you have to be extremely accurate with it. When I say extremely accurate, I mean pinpoint. Like if you're off by a hair, you're not going to hit the person. So you have to charge it up, otherwise it'll only go like a foot in front of you, and to get it to the end of its range, it takes forever to charge that son bitch up. But on the plus side, once you have it charged up all the way, that thing can go hella far. The range on it is insane, and when I say hella far, I mean hella far.
Yeah, yeet. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, yeet.
There is no passion. There is.
Yeah, yeet.
Like, the range is ridiculous with this ability. It is by far the best part of it because, like I said, the rest of it is worse than Luke's force push in every single way. But range, using it in Galactic Assault, it's not too useful for the most part. It's pretty much only useful for if you have a flank, and then you can just charge it up and unleash it on some droids. But otherwise, it's not too good. And then again, flanking isn't very easy in this game when you're a hero because your position is known to the enemy 24/7 via the radar. But on Heroes vs. Villains, it is great for sniping heroes when they're in another battle or something, and they'll think you're just way too far away to hit them. You just charge that thing up and just knock them off the map if you're on somewhere like Kashyyyk or Naboo. Moving on to best ability. ability. That's what I call his forward charge, because that ability is just clearly the best. Once you have a star card, which I'll talk about in a bit, that ups the damage of this, it's just easily the best ability in the game. And something that I learned after using it for a while is do not be stingy with this ability, because that's what I would do. At first I'd be very stingy with it. I wouldn't use it unless I absolutely had to, or there were a lot of people bunched up, because I wanted as many kills as possible, because it does have a little bit of a big hitbox for hitting people, and so I'd save it up. But I learned that it refreshes super fast, so there's no reason to save it up. Use this ability whenever you need to, whenever you want to, because it'll be back in like 4 seconds anyways. It comes back really fast. It's also great for killing roly-polies, because that's a huge part of Battlefront. The lightsaber hitboxes have been broken in this game since the alpha, so you'll watch your lightsaber just go straight through a droid, but it doesn't matter. It does no damage, there's no hitbox. But with this ability, they can't roll out of the way. They just get steamrolled and absolutely destroyed, and it's the best part of this ability, because you'll have some guy who thinks he can run away and just abuse the broken hitboxes and hit the dodge key, and you can't do anything to him, and then BAM! You just run his ass over with this ability.
Wait, what's this guy doing? What is it? Get back! Dumbass. Oh, come on. You gotta learn. Did you see your buddy get steamrolled? What are you doing? What's gonna happen?
It's great, and then you'll have it back like 4 seconds later. So use this ability whenever you need to. Whenever someone starts rolling, do not even mess with them and try to gamble with the broken hitboxes. Just activate this ability and run their ass over. And then you have Wavy Hand, because that's pretty much all this is. It's just a glorified emote. That's all his mind trick is. It doesn't really do much. It sounds good in concept, but in execution it's absolutely terrible. So in concept, what this does is when you activate this ability, everyone that's within its range can no longer use their abilities, and they can no longer dodge. You think, oh wow, that'd be great for fixing the broken hitboxes to where you can't hit people when they dodge. But the problem is, it takes about 3 seconds to activate the ability. Once it's activated, it lasts about 3 seconds. So while you're activating it, they either are absolutely destroying you with blaster shots so you're dead, or they've run so far out of range that by the time you get to them, the effect of the ability has worn off. So it's literally useless in Galactic Assault. But if you're going against heroes, specifically someone like the Emperor, it's really good, because they won't think anything of it. They'll be sitting next to you trying to shock you. You activate this ability, and all of a sudden he can't just do his kickflips through the air, because that is a big thing that Emperor mains do. They abuse the dodge because he has the best dodge in the game, and they just run away using it. But if you activate this, they can't, and you can just go to Pound Town and destroy them and just kick them in the face. So Wavy Hand is just that. It's a glorified emote. It's a Wavy Hand. It's decent in Heroes vs. Villains. It's terrible in Galactic Assault. You can use it through walls though, and that's where I've noticed it's the best, because if someone sees you using it, they either run away or they melt you while you're trying to use the ability. DICE needs to make it to where the effect is longer, because it's to where you can still sprint when you activate it. So that part was a little questionable, because considering the fact that the ability only lasts for like 3 seconds and the people that you hit it with can still full on sprint, it's not very effective in Galactic Assault. Now let's move on to the star cards I use for his abilities. I use Jedi Resilience, which increases his maximum health regeneration. When you have it leveled up all the way, he can regenerate 100 of his lost health. This helps so much considering how not durable the heroes are in this game compared to the first Battlefront. You really need health cards, and this one helps a lot. Otherwise, you'll just be losing Obi-Wan super fast. This definitely helps to extend your kill streaks. I use Forward for best ability. This helps it to where you do more damage with your strikes when best ability is activated. You'll be able to one-shot every single normal class except for heavy, which helps so much for like clearing out hallways, choke points. It's really useful, or just in general running over roly-polies.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
So when you don't have Forward, this ability is pretty much useless. So I highly recommend Forward. I'd say it's the one that everyone needs to have. If you're using Obi-Wan a lot in Galactic Assault, you need to have Forward, because otherwise that leaves you with Force Push being his only ability to use, because this ability without Forward is pretty much useless. You do next to no damage, and you can just block some laser shots, and that's it. It makes 2 of his abilities just null. So definitely use Forward. It is by far the best star card for Obi-Wan. and the most essential. Then lastly, Jedi General, which just helps you get health for every kill. This is something that I believe like every hero has in the game, or most heroes have, after a patch that came out like a month or so ago, to where now when you get a kill, you get so much health for each kill, which helps a lot for keeping your hero alive and actually rewards you for playing the objective a bit more and actually being active instead of just sitting back and being a pansy like most heroes. This actually helps get you out into the combat and doesn't punish you completely for doing it, and you get even more health for killing a hero, so it really makes you hunting for heroes more of an option than before, where if you don't have this star card, going for heroes is just pointless because you'll just lose most of your health if you actually win the fight, and you'll have nothing to fight everyone else with. I'd say every hero in this game has their home turf, meaning they all have a map that they do best in. For instance, with Vader, it's easily Death Star. That is his home map. That's where he does best. For Obi-Wan, I would say it's where you first ever see him in Star Wars, and that's Tatooine. This is easily his home field advantage map. It is just the best one for him because he has a really good jump where he can jump super high, and he's great with just running around the rooftops, jumping down like Batman, getting a kill, not like Batman, and then jumping straight back up and running away and getting more kills and flanking people and just running all along the rooftops. Tatooine is easily his map. I know he came out with Geonosis. Geonosis is not really his map because it's very open. You can still do good with him, but Geonosis is not his map at all. You can do decent with him on pretty much any map, but Tatooine is easily, at least the first phase of Tatooine, is his map. Just running around on the rooftops, getting kills, ducking out, going back on the rooftop, running to the other side of the map, clearing objectives is just what he does best in this game, and he works really well with Tatooine. Obi-Wan's playstyle is easily meant to be defensive. He's not very fast. He's not super slow though, but he's not fast like Luke or Darth Maul. He's somewhere in the middle, so he's very much meant to be defensive. So use his block, and he has a lot of stamina, and his block is very useful when it works. But he is glitched sometimes, just like, there's some glitches in this game. Well, there's a lot of glitches in this game, and Obi-Wan's not exempt from them. There's sometimes where you'll be holding down his force push, and it'll let go, like, partway through the force push, even though you never let go of the key, it just lets it go, which is very frustrating, and his block doesn't work sometimes, and there's just a lot of abilities that sometimes just don't work. Like, if you try to cancel his best ability, it sometimes won't do it, so always make sure to hit your attack button at the end, because that'll stop the ability. That'll make him do one final slash to where he does like 150 damage. So always do that to end his best ability, because otherwise if you try to hit the same button again to cancel it, it'll work sometimes, sometimes it won't. Granted, he's not as glitched as Grievous though, thank God.
Let's go. Oh, no. Wait. Grievous, buddy. What are you doing?
As far as heroes encounters go, I find that Obi-Wan's actually pretty good when facing off against other villains. Now, if you're facing off against a fully upgraded Grievous that knows what they're doing, you're most likely not going to win it unless you have some health. But generally speaking, in 1v1s, when it's an actual fight and the other person's not trying to run away or do some gimmick, Obi-Wan will win most of the fights, it seems. I've had some really good fights in this game, I've had some really good 1v1s, and it's nice when there's somewhat respectful 1v1s, when another hero will spot you and you'll emote and just fight it out. So don't be afraid to take on other heroes in Galactic Assault, especially if you have the Jedi General Star card, which gives you more health for each kill with a hero. That helps so much when you're low on health and you need some. Just go and take out a hero, and it's not too hard to do, assuming that they're not surrounded by battle droids or stormtroopers. You can go and take them out and get some nice health and also help your team a lot. Yeah guys, that's pretty much it for my Obi-Wan guide. Not much else to say, just he's more of a defensive hero. He's fun to play as. He's not exactly OP, but he's not terrible either. His abilities I feel like could use a little buff here and there. Like I would be fine with him having a damage reduction when he gets hit while he's charging up his force ability, while he's charging up his force push, so that way it actually, you know, isn't punishing for using when you're encountering battle droids or something, instead of it just being useless. And then obviously his mind trick needs to be buffed to where that lasts longer. But yeah, overall I like Obi-Wan. He's fun, and just the final thought to be play defensive. Make sure not to run into somewhere where there's a ton of people, because you're not going to get out of there with Obi-Wan. He's not fast enough. And just, yeah, overall, just have fun with the character. He's pretty cool, and General Kenobi is easily my favorite skin in the entire game. Not just with him, but within the entire game. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know with a like and a comment, and let me know in the comments below who I should do a guide for next. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.
It ain't no joke, I like to buy the world a saying